Maria and I are huge Madelaine fans.
She's so committed. I mean, Madelaine carries the weight of the film.
Filming this movie ever mess with your
I
head?
did get some scares when I was going back to my hotel room. You always get another chance. There's always another day to look forward to.
What would you say you're the most excited for about The Strangers Chapter 2?
I'm very excited for the fans to see where the strangers come from and start to understand why maybe they do what they do.
Welcome to Real Appreciation, the show where we explore the artists behind the arts and the gratitude that powers them. I am one half of your host, David Clair Bennett.
And I'm Elizabeth Darnell.
And ahead of the world premiere of The Strangers Chapter 2, releasing in theaters everywhere on September 26th, we are absolutely honored to be sitting with one of the stars of the highly anticipated sequel. So please, without further ado, welcome to the show, the one, the only Pablo Sandstrom.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be with you guys.
How are you this morning?
Doing very well. Very excited, actually. Very interesting month coming up.
Absolutely interesting indeed, because as a huge horror movie fanatic like both of us are, The Strangers in particular has always held a special place in my heart personally because of the fact that these movies are not your typical slasher in the woods kind of film. These are movies that could actually potentially happen to you. So with that being said, Pablo, what is it that makes The Strangers so special for you?
You just literally spoke my heart. And it's one of the terrifying things of The Strangers, right? Because I remember when I was prepping for the trilogy, I watched the first movie, right? And I was sitting there, I was like, dude, this could happen to you. It's not supernatural. It's nothing like needs like a ghost nun running around or anything like that. It's just three people with a mask running after you in a secluded house in the middle of nowhere. So it could happen. I mean, if you guys watched the first one, you know, the stats that come out at the beginning, it's like this happens like every minute in the world, or I think it even said in the US, right? So it's like, okay, that's kind of scary, you know? And it's part of what makes it very special. I also think that what Randy and the team, Courtney especially as well, and Madelaine obviously have done so brilliantly in this in the trilogy is that we explore different aspects of the strangers that we couldn't do or wasn't done in the original film. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think the original film is a cult classic and really, really good. But we get to see where the strangers come from, maybe why they even do what they do, what's behind all of this. You know, there were little hints in the first one, and I'm sure you'll see much more going forward. But it's really interesting to see the story keep growing and. You know, I mean, we still got 2 chapters to go, so there's a lot to come.
How does it feel to go from being a fan of the iconic franchise to now playing a part in the films?
It feels great. Honestly, it's like, you know, it's like I have a couple in my bucket list that I also want to be in, you know, as a horror fan movie as well myself. The Strangers was definitely one. It's just really cool to be in one of those movies that, you know, just people watch, you know. For me, I'm from Madrid, Spain. Like I'm not American. So I remember I was walking through LA and I was seeing the posters and was like, okay, that's LA, that's cool. But when I was actually back in Madrid and I suddenly saw the poster in my neighborhood, I was like, Jesus, this is really cool. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm very happy with it, and I think it's been one of the launching points of my acting career.
So you were talking about earlier a little bit about Madelaine Petsch, and Maria and I are huge Madelaine fans, and I'll go as far as saying she has to be in my top 3 favorite actresses like ever, behind you, of course. I'm not sure how much you got to be on set with her or if you got the opportunity to watch her perform her magic in real time, but if so, what is your experience working with such a phenomenal talent like Madelaine Petsch look like?
She's so committed, so dedicated, really brought her A game every day to set. And not only that, she also has carried the movie afterwards as an executive producer. I've only got great words for her, and just to say that, you know, also, you know, you're being directed by Rennie Harlin, which is you know, legend as a director. It was really impressive to see how she handled it. And we shot the 3 movies back to back. We literally shot all 3 in a row in Slovakia. And it wasn't like, hey, we're going to shoot part one, then part two, then part three. No, it was like one day you're shooting two scenes from chapter two, one scene from chapter one, and three scenes from chapter three. So, not only Madelaine, obviously, but like, I mean, Madelaine carries the weight of the film very much. So it was great and incredible to watch.
So did filming this movie ever mess with your head?
Did it mess with my head? In what ways?
Did you actually ever lose any sleep, maybe seeing how great the strangers played the roles, for example?
I did get some scares when I was going back to my hotel room, and especially, you're filming some nights in the woods and, it's really dark and you're wrapping like at 1 a.m. and whatever, or 2 or whatever time it was. And again, don't get me wrong, that was not like me complaining about it. I mean, like, you're acting in a movie for Lionsgate. Like, as an actor, just be happy, like it's great. You're not, I don't know, mining in somewhere in the middle of the sun, so always grateful for that. But I remember walking into my hotel room and thinking like, oh Jesus, this is really dark. And we're also in Slovakia, and it's not the safest place out there in the world. I mean, it's not Iraq or Gaza or anything like that, but it's definitely, like, I think while we were there, a former president or a candidate to president got shot. You know what I mean? So, like, why wouldn't it happen to you in the middle of, God knows where? It did get a bit spooky. I wouldn't say that the strangers haunt me in my sleep, like 2 years after filming. But I remember taking my mom to the movie, and after half an hour, I was like, you know what? This is enough. That's good. That's good. That's good for now. We'll watch chapter two. Unfortunately, we won't be able to show her because she passed late March. So yeah, but she was able to see the first one, and I'm very grateful for her to have seen them.
So, Pablo, what did The Strangers bring you?
Strangers changed pretty much everything for how my career was going. I mean, like, I'd done a bunch of indie movies as lead and but it's not the same thing as doing a Lionsgate trilogy, right? So things changed. Like, from there, I went on to do this movie, Day Drinker, which is, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's the first movie Johnny Depp is doing in a long, long time. And it's with Madeleine Klein, it's with Penelope Cruz, another bunch of Spanish name actors. It's really cool. We just wrapped this summer. So directed by Mark Webb. So that was incredible. But before that, also, I did this show called Suspicious Minds in the US. In Spain, for Disney Plus, it's called Ladrones y la Tierra de Santa Águeda, with another bunch of name actors in Spain. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alex Gonzalez. He was in X-Men First Generation. Asier Echandia, he's been in a bunch of Almodovar movies. So, like, there was that. Also did Han ucciso l'uomo Ragno for Sky Italy, directed by Sidney Sevilla, which is a legend in Italy. We won, like, all the awards you can win in Italy. Comedy of the Year, La Nostra di Azzurro. Like, The Strangers really, honestly, changed things for me in a massive level. And, I mean, I did work with this director before The Strangers, but I did do this short that's called War is Never Civil. And it's now in, the festival circuit and stuff. It got me a Cannes nomination from Viola Davis's production company, Juby Productions. Or, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, by the way. Sorry, Viola. But we're working on a bunch of things from that, and it's really been it's changed my career. The Strangers changed my career for sure. And
Wow.
by the way, the Johnny Depp movie is also a Lionsgate movie, funny enough.
I want to actually talk about Johnny Depp for a second. How was your experience working with Johnny Depp?
He's a great actor. He's a legend. And he has this aura, this gravitas, and, very chilled guy, very relaxed, very, like, not, You didn't feel, but even more with Penelope. Penelope was honestly, it seemed like it was her first day on set, and she's been doing this since she was 17 or more. And she was such a sweetheart and the nicest person on earth. And it honestly didn't surprise me because I had already worked with her husband, Javier Bardem, on a theater immersion that we do yearly in Madrid with his master teacher who's called Juan Carlos Coraza. And Javier was also amazing. Javier was like, it felt like you had Master Yoda around you, you know, like he was the first one to get there, last one to leave. Master, like so humbling, you know, and you see other guys that have just done like one TV show and they think they're hot. I'm not gonna say the swearing, but you know what I mean, right? They think they've accomplished everything in their career, and you're looking at a guy who's been 3 Oscar nominated and won an Oscar, and in my opinion, is one of the best actors in the world. Be so nice to everybody, and it just reminds you that you know, we're all human beings. We're all nice. I mean, I remember Jack Nicholson and Julie Roberts talking about the importance of being nice to all the crew, right? For different reasons. But they would always be like, I mean, Jack Nicholson made it his job to know everybody's name on set. That was his job as number one on the call sheet. Julia Roberts had a different philosophy, right? Of like, hey, if I'm nice, you know, the makeup girl is going to make me look better. The lighting guy is going to make me look better. The DP is going to actually find this twinkle in my eye that's going to like, you know, make the scene even better, right? But this was so genuine. Penelope, Javier, all incredible in that aspect. Like, can't say anything else.
We really are so big on the importance of gratitude, mental health, and protecting our mental health, as well as being kind to one another, while also remembering how much each of us matter, including yourself, Pablo. So with that being said, every day when we wake and before we go to bed, Maria and I always make it a priority to say 3 things aloud we're grateful for. So if you had to say off the top of your head right now, what are the 3 things in your life you are grateful for?
That's beautiful. I'm gonna start doing that. I pray before going to bed. And by the way, not in a like, I mean, I was raised Catholic, like I'm Spanish, but like if you tell me God is a pink pony or his name is Yahweh or Allah, like it's not about that, you know? It's I believe in a higher force. Name it cup. So 3 things I would say thank you for or be grateful for every day. Definitely my mom, 100%. Um, yeah, she was always one of the bravest people I've ever met in general. Um, I would say I'm very grateful for sports. It sounds weird, but it's one of those things. Let's not call it sports. Let's call it challenges. Let's call it challenges. Because I was thinking about my earlier years, and I think at the beginning it was sports, but then definitely, you know, life gives you other type of challenges, being it a tough job, being it university, being it a very tough teacher or somebody who just like challenges you and tries to get the best out of you, even if you're not seeing it at some points, you know. I could even include my dad in there, you know, which I have a sometimes a nice relationship with, but like, I mean, obviously he's my dad, always will be. He was a good father, like, let's be honest and real. But I would put item number 2 as challenges, and number 3, I'd say, is that you always get another chance. There's always another day to look forward to. There's always another audition. There's always another project. There's always a new business you can start. There's always like, except for death, which unfortunately I have a bit present now in my life. There's always another day, and we have to be so grateful for that, you know. And I think like a lot of times we just give it for granted that, you know, oh yeah, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be able to go buy my coffee and yeah, it's just another day. Well, for a lot of people, there's not another day. So just having that next day is something to be grateful for.
Absolutely, Pablo. You talked about being grateful and for being present in the moment. And that's something myself I could get better at doing, and self-admittedly. And I'm sure so many people listening to this. So what you just said was very powerful, especially the most recent thing you were grateful for. But before we head out of here, what would you say you're the most excited for about The Strangers Chapter 2?
Chapter one did so well, and at least in the box office. I know like some of the fans were like not so excited as all the rest of the production team has been because they're like, oh, the movie is very similar. Like, yeah, that's why it's part one. What's part two and three, right? I'm very excited for the fans and the people who know a bit or have been a fan of the franchise for a while to see where the strangers come from and start to understand why maybe they do what they do. Maybe it's just not because they're mean people who one day decided to start killing people.
Amazing. Outside of those projects, do you have anything else exciting coming up?
We're doing this theater immersion again with this time. I don't think Javier is going to be there, but I don't know if you've seen, who Luis Tosar is, but he's another huge Spanish actor. He's been, I mean, obviously playing in a lot of Narcos and Hollywood movies and stuff, but like, amazing actor. And I'm also going to start a play. So, very, very busy end of the year, which is great.
Amazing. And where can people find you online, Pablo?
You can find me on my social media, pablo.sandstrom at Instagram. And really that's it. I don't have a YouTube channel. I should. I know. I'm terrible. I'm terrible leaving on Instagram, to be honest. It's one of my new it's not the New Year's, right? But it's like the new back to school year, let's put it that way. It's one of my resolutions for that to like get a bit more active on it and stuff.
This has been awesome, Pablo. We want to thank you for allowing us to sit with you today ahead of the film. Pablo Sandstrom is here. The Strangers are almost here. When will The Strangers be at your door, Maria?
September 26th.
September 26th, The Strangers Chapter 2, starring Madelaine Petsch, featuring, of course, our guest today, the incredible Pablo Sandstrom. Get your tickets today. Be sure to remind yourself that each and every one of you guys matters so very much.
Thank you again so much for your time today, Pablo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
Same here, man. Until the next episode, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to or watch our show, but most importantly, protect your mental health. I am David Clair Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And he's the amazing Pablo Sandstrom, and you've been watching and or listening to Real Appreciation.
Thank you guys. Speak very soon.